You're familiar with idiots like Vince Lombardi and Bear Bryant and all that, coaches. Winning's not everything, it's the only thing, And, yeah. If you don't understand the basic tenets of religion, I remember reading John Wooden's book, it's you put religion first and then family and then basketball's way down on the pyramid, right? But Notre Dame University, Catholic university, right? Before every football game, the football team is supposed to sit down and recite the Lord's Prayer. Okay. It's the most the most lucrative financial institution in the history of college sports. They signed their own deal with NBC for football. Okay. When they came to El Paso this year, oh boy, it was all the Catholics. Oh, we got Notre Dame University, right? Got a bunch of people that mouth the Lord's Prayer, but don't live it a lick, right? And the same with the Pope. The Pope is supposed to be just like Jesus Christ. He's supposed to be the living embodiment of Jesus Christ, right? It's a museum that brings in millions, maybe billions of dollars every year, okay, to see genocidal artwork in buildings where genocidal operators got together to discuss population manipulation, right? And then they have a bank. Okay, it's one of the most lucrative banks in all of genocidum, right? And so you have these people, Judah Krishnamurti with the parchment thing at the UN. Not right now, buddies, lay down. In 1985. He sits there and tells you exactly what kind of organization this is that called him here that day to support what they wrote down and said they were going to do. So if I say I'm gravity and a bunch of assholes agree that I'm gravity, does that make me gravity? Okay. I'm way different than Judah Krishnamurti. Okay. I have the freedom, okay, to speak this way. I was one of the public enemies, number one, when they first started encouraging me in Sierra Vista to talk, okay. I went online and asked Osama bin Laden's people to get a hold of me to see if they were real Muslims or if they were terrorists. No one got a hold of me. Okay. I asked Mahmoud Ahmadinejad, you're supposed to be a Muslim, it's supposed to be a Muslim nation. Get a hold of me. I'm the 13th, 22nd Redeemer, so we can live worldwide Islam. I'm in the middle of Fort Huachuca. Have somebody get a hold of me and make sure that if you're a real Muslim, that you let me know that I can protect you and give you sanctuary, because I am the Church of Israel. All right. That's what I said. Well, I knew what I was doing right from the start. I knew that hypocrites and heathens were already in my house because they already told me about the Patriot Act, and I knew the boat right bedroom and the surveillance equipment. I already knew what was going on. It was a very difficult situation they put in. I had to walk a very fine line and had to be very delicate and delicate. I have trouble saying that word. Very delicate in the way that I went through this. Okay, it was very difficult from Natalie. It was very difficult for Patrick. Okay, and I advised them. I would tell Amy. Amy said, if you're the one like the 1322nd Redeemer, I don't want to be your Mary Magdalene. I don't want to be your whore. And I would tell, they're all watching, and they laugh about it and say they're all watching. So you got to quit sleeping with the guys at Fort Huachuca, at Buffalo Wild Wings, and the Cochise Health and Racket Club. Okay, they will video record it, put it on underground chat rooms, and talk shit about you. But I would take her back in and say, just give birth to Crom and stay here with me, and maybe Patrick will end up here going to college here at the junior college, and we'll all work it out and we'll all protect each other here and be the sanctuary of Fort Huachuca. Okay? Totally changed the way they do things at Fort Huachuca. They literally ran us out of the county and then brought in Silicon Valley people to run Huachuca because the Army people were perverts. Did the people of Silicon Valley admit that the Army people were perverts? And the whole reason why The people of Silicon Valley are wealthy and have home invasion documentation and linguistics to keep home invading you and keeping people safe from sexual predators and child sex predators and exploiting young people sexually. Okay, they'll just tell you, oh well, like Ashley on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Gambling with Jeffrey. Hey, back in the Middle Ages, I would have 2 oxen and be married and have 3 kids at age 15, right? They'll just tell you it's just natural selection. We're just using just using my female attraction on a typical male, right? That's all they'll tell you. You just keep your eyes on you keep your mind on the money and keep your eyes on the wall, right? Okay, so I know what kind of sick people I'm dealing with, and I know the hypocrisy, or the hierarchy. Like the other day when I met those missionaries, like I always do, choose the right. I tell them all the right things about the church, and as soon as I get one of them who's supposed to be in charge, shutting me up and trying to shut me down, that's why I started telling them, hey, I didn't sit there right off the bat and say, hey, people in the Mormon church had sex with my wife in Sierra Vista, Arizona to try to get me go off because I wasn't married in the eyes of the church, because I had betrayed the presidency of the church, because I knew they were lying bastards. I corrected Spencer J. Kimball at 4 years old. And then for turning Jesus into a pagan ritual sacrifice, and then at 10 years old for sending people to hell because of the color of their skin. And later on, when we moved to Colville, Washington, they told everybody in the church that me and my 9-year-old sister and my other sisters and my mother, they took a candle and had a ceremony and put us all out and sent us all to hell, like on Survivor with Jeff Probst and Charlie Parsons, for $1 million. And the whole church was very pleased, even the children. Yeah, my dad he went to church there. I mean, we didn't. He didn't take us. He didn't make us go. My dad didn't force his religious beliefs upon us. He let us make adult decisions when it came to religion. Okay? He was different than Spencer J. Kimball or Borden B. Hinckley or Monson or Nelson. Okay? Every time I see your kids, I encourage them to choose the right. Okay? Sorry, he had to just pick up by the scruff because he needs to quit doing that. You need to quit jumping on people. When you get petted, you stay there and you wait, you come up nicely. Okay? I had to scruff him. Boy, he gets a little, I think he's, because of his poor health conditions and stuff, that he's kind of almost like what you'd consider Down syndrome. Okay? And so he gets a little aggressive for attention, and you got to slow him down. And he also does that when he does that with Betsy, and he chases her around and harasses her. And I told her, you can clean his clock. Yeah, I think he needs that. I think he needs that lesson from her. She's not going to hurt him, but she might need to kick his ass. So he realizes he can't chase her around and do whatever he wants. And then she'll tolerate him better, and they'll have better. But sometimes you just got to kick somebody's ass because they think they can get away with being an ass because you won't kick their ass. They'll back you into a corner. Okay, guys, I love you very much. Okay, I have to tell the technology what's up, and then you can understand what they're doing with the technology. It's pretty bad. Yeah, it's pretty bad, but you're kind of like Messer.